Good morning, Tigers. Hope everyone's doing well. Deputy Denver here, School Resource Officer. I am actually going to read to you guys Chapter 8, A Colossal Mistake. Hope you enjoy. Our family eats dinner together almost every night. Some evenings my dad has to work late. Sometimes my mom, who is a visiting nurse, has to be away at dinner time, but mostly we eat together. And every weeknight, Dad makes us give our reports on our school day. If you don't say enough, he makes everyone else be quiet until you say more. He doesn't care what you talk about. You can make up something silly if you want. Once I said, today the entire third grade threw up from eating moldy chicken fingers. My dad laughed. He's a pretty funny guy, and he likes it when we make jokes. But that night I didn't feel like being funny. For one thing, Miss Burke had given our class more homework than I'd ever had before. You first, Squirt, Dad said to my sister. She talked for 1,000,000 hours. It took her longer to talk about her day than the day itself. At the end, she looked straight at me and said, and her name is Miss Diaz, not Dizaz. I told you that, I said. No, you didn't, she said. Dad asked my brother to go next. Usually he asked me second, but I think he could tell I wasn't in a talking mood. I was busy scowling at the squid. My brother had plenty to say about his first day at middle school. We go to different rooms for different classes. We have to carry around a map of the school so we don't get lost. Jason's in all my classes but one. It's really cool. And at lunch you can sit anywhere you want. That made me even grumpier. If Miss Burke was in charge of the middle school, they'd probably have to sit and assign seats even at lunch. Then my father looked at me. Well, Charlie, I see you're still breathing after your first day. Too bad, said Matt. Matt, Mom said. I have a whole hour of homework tonight, I grumbled. I don't have any homework, said the squid. I want homework. You can have mine, said Matt. You don't usually complain about homework, Charlie, my father said. Is something else wrong? Miss Burke has 1,000,000 rules. Wow, said Dad, that's a lot of rules. Does she write them all up on the board, or do you have to memorize them? Sometimes when my dad's trying to be funny, it isn't funny. I ignored him. And we have to sit in assigned places, I added. Dad just gave me a look. He still didn't seem to feel very bad for me. And Samantha Grunsky sits right behind me. Uh-oh, I seem to remember you talking about her, Dad said and took a bite of his potatoes. You know, Dad, Matt said, that's the girl Charlie wants to marry when he... Be quiet, you idiot, I shouted. Charlie, said my mom. Oh my, said Matt, what language? You're not supposed to say idiot, said the squid. Hey, Mabel, said Matt. You just said idiot. But not like Charlie, she yelled. I was just saying not to say it. But you did say idiot, said Matt. You said idiot too, she said. Now she was laughing because she knew she was saying it. Everyone had forgotten that we were talking about what happened to me. Enough, said my dad. No more idiots. Now you said it, squealed the squid. They were all laughing. Ginger was barking. She always barks when people laugh, like it's her way of laughing. Everyone was laughing or barking, except me. I still thought Matt was an idiot. Miss Burke can't be that bad, Charlie. Did she talk about the play you'll put on? You mean when Charlie gets to be the bunny? Matt asked. I ignored my brother's comment. I'll be the bunny, said the squid. Something good must have happened today at school, Mom said to me. Nothing I can think of. Even the new gym teacher is like an army general and won't let us use the new soccer balls. And Miss Burke isn't going to like me no matter what I do. Miss L liked me right away, Matt said. We get along great. Matt, Dad said, that's not helpful. I'm sure Miss Burke will grow to like you," Mom said. "She hates me," I said. "I can tell by the way she looks at me. Everyone always likes you, Charlie." "Wait until she sees all the things you're good at." "Like what?" I said. "You're good at math," Mom said. She was right. I was pretty good at math and reading. Okay, I said. "You're good at being an idiot," said Matt. "Stop it, Matt," Dad said. "I mean it." "You're good at a lot of things," Mom went on. "And you're a good kid." That's what moms do. They tell you you're good when you think you're not. "Mom, Miss Burke just doesn't like me," I said, "and I'll never like her. I can't believe she was ever Teacher of the Year." Dad put his fork down. "Charlie, you don't have to like Miss Burke, but you do have to learn to get along with her because you're stuck with her for the whole year." "You mean like you're stuck with Mr. Grimaldi?" I asked. My dad screwed up his mouth and looked at the ceiling. Mr. Grimaldi was his new boss. Dad wasn't happy when his old boss, Mr. Ralston, left and Mr. Grimaldi took his place. He was always complaining to Mom about him. I guess sometimes parents don't realize that their kids hear what they're saying to each other, but we do. "Charlie," said my mom, "Charlie," said my mom, "you shouldn't say things like that." "I agree completely," said Matt. "Hold it." Dad held up his hands. "That's a fair question. Yes, you're stuck with Miss Burke, just like I'm stuck with Mr. Grimaldi." "Do you get along with Mr. Grimaldi now?" I asked. "I'm working on it," he said. "Well," I said, "when you learn to get along with Mr. Grimaldi, maybe I'll learn to get along with Miss Burke." It was quiet at the table. Dad looked at Mom, then back at me. He held up one finger. "Okay, I'll make a deal. I'll learn to get along with Mr. Grimaldi if you learn to get along with Miss Burke. Is it a deal?" Trick question? No good answer? Dad stuck his hand out across the table for me to shake. I looked at it. I didn't want to shake it because that meant I would have to learn to get along with Miss Burke. But he was my dad, so I shook it. "I already like Miss Diaz," said the squid. "You mean Miss Dizazz?" said Matt. "No, Diaz, said the squid. Everyone laughed again. Ginger barked, but I didn't. I knew I'd make an enormous, colossal mistake by making a deal with my dad, because I would never be able to get along with Miss Burke. I'd rather quit school and go to work and try to get along with Mr. Grimaldi.